So yeah, today we will have some new topics to explore. First of all, for those of you who have been using Bitsgap for quite a long time, you are already familiar with the SBot and the scalper, but as of today, we have united SBot with scalper, as I mentioned in previous webcasts. So you now have a brand new one with scalper features. So that's the highest frequency trading presented to you today. So we will go through it and other features that we added, especially features related to how to cancel the bot and what are the options for you to exit the market. So there are some interesting things that we've developed. And for newcomers, I will go through. Well, actually, let's start already. I think it's about time to start. Greetings everyone, once again. My name is Dmitry. I am the portfolio manager trading at Bitsgap, and together with Bitsgap we are working on the automated trading optimization. So I will introduce you how to use our bots, how to effectively launch them, so what are the optimal market scenarios to launch them, especially when it comes to our brand new bot, SBot. And yeah, we'll go through use cases as always, because constantly we have them updated each week. Practical tips, as we now have new features related to how to cancel the bot, how to exit the market, which allows you to maximize your returns and to control the risk even better. Demo trading, which we use to discover strategies and to sharpen our trading skills. So that's something that we have for quite a long time already. Risk management, backtesting to validate and generate trade ideas, and profit maximization, mostly on the sideways and uptrend. So these are the market formations optimal to launch the bot to achieve maximized returns. And so I will show you real examples how automated trading allows you to literally outperform the market, outperform those who are simply holding their assets and doing nothing about their cryptocurrencies. So I will show you how with automation you can maximize your returns on the sideways and uptrend. Well, the SBot second edition, already mentioned that. Loss minimization on the downtrend. So I will show you the techniques which are fully optimized, configured, and built in our bots, which allow you automatically to minimize your losses in case if the market is falling. All right, so 24/7 we are here to maximize your returns and to secure your trading. And yeah, many traders been asking what's the principal difference between the investment change and the bot profit, and what makes up the investment change. So I will go through this as well. But first of all, for newcomers, quick introduction to high frequency trading. So what is high frequency trading? Basically, here is the perfect visualization for you what this is all about. So that's actually the random picture. It's not Zilliqa trading to USDT, but yeah, in any case, the frequency is pretty much the same when it comes to our trading bots. So that's example taken from the scalper, which is no longer available at Bitsgap, but it's built in the new SBot. So this example is still relevant. Basically, we have it, but it's just now called SBot. So here we have trading on the chart. You see green circles and red circles. Well, green represent buy orders executed by the bot, and red circles, they represent sell orders. All right, and we see that only for the period of 5 days and 23 hours, of elapsed time, we had in total 6,622 trades, all right, executed by the bot. So if we calculate it, if we divide the elapsed time by the number of trades, that's 46 trades per hour. That's insane amount of trades per hour without any rest. So ask yourself, are you capable of achieving that amount of trades manually without any rest 24/7? I think the answer is obvious. You cannot do this, all right? With only features like high frequency trading in automated trading, you can achieve such results. So the idea is that in automated trading is that we have some coins on our balance, like in this example we have, so let me just point it out for you. We have BitTorrent, it's 3% out of our portfolio. We have NG coin, that's 19% of our portfolio. Yeah, so we have some other cryptocurrencies as well, which are simply passively lying in our portfolio and nothing is happening, all right? But with automation, we allow the bot to use these available capital, to use these available cryptocurrencies on our account, on our balance, to accumulate extra profits in the quote currency. So in this example, Zilliqa, that's the base currency, all right? And we generate profits in USDT in this case, which is the quote currency. So even here you can see that the bot profit is in the USDT. So that's the added value. That's the added value to your purchased coin that you would otherwise just hodl. As you know, this term hodl means buying something and holding it for a long time, waiting for the price to appreciate. Why would you wait for that time? Why not using automated trading to accumulate even more profits? So basically, you allow the bot to take your coins from your balance to generate extra profits in the quote currencies. So as simple as that. The bot is looking for the opportunities on the market to buy low and to sell high. So that's the idea. And here is the example of the falling market, all right? And regardless of the market trend, either it's falling or it's sideways, all right? Or it's in the uptrend formation. The bot is making profits regardless of the market trend because it can always find opportunities on the market to buy low and sell high. As simple as that. So the logic here, the logic behind our bots, our classic one and the S bot, is that they have grid mechanism. So what is this grid mechanism? Basically, you have a trading range which is defined by the upper limit price and the lower limit price, and as I mentioned already, you take your base currency and you allow the bot to generate profits in the quote currency. So in this case, that's USDT. And we have this setup where we have the sell zone. So these are all of the sell limit orders. And that means in order to have all of these sell limit orders, we must possess in our balance some amount of Cardano, because otherwise you won't be able to place sell limit orders online. So in order to sell something, you must have it on your balance. And in order to buy something, you must have the quote currency to purchase it. And in this case, to purchase Cardano, in case if the market is gonna fall, you must have USDT to buy Cardano, all right? So that's the idea. Trading range, and we see that in this example 8 grid levels in total. So this can be 4 sell limit orders and 4 buy limit orders, but it can also be like let's say you have more sell limit orders than buy orders, and the opposite, you can have more buy limit orders than the sell limit orders. In any case, everything is represented by the grid amount. And the way you distribute the trading range I mean, the way you distribute your investments within this trading range is up to you, and I will show you in the Bitsgap platform how you can adjust the trading range to have different dispositions of your sell side and the buy side. So here's the example of how the price action triggers grid levels. So here we see from the start, let me show you. The price has moved downwards and eventually has triggered the buy limit order. So that means that the bot will now execute this buy order. So it will use Ethereum to buy BNB in this case. And then automatically the bot will place new sell limit order right above this buy limit that was just triggered, maintaining this grid spacing. So the grid spacing is another term for you to understand. It's the space between your orders. And the system respects this grid spacing and allocates new sell or buy limit orders, maintaining this grid spacing. So here we go. The price then later moved upwards, triggered the sell limit order. So in this case, it will execute the sell, so it will sell BNB and you will get your Ethereum. And then the system will automatically place a new buy limit order below that price, maintaining the grid spacing. As simple as that. So that can happen many times. And you saw that there were, in my example, 46 trades per hour. So that can be even more, depending on the cryptocurrency and depending on the price action, depending on the volatility on the market right now, and also depending on your trading range. The wider is your trading range, the more opportunities you provide for the bot to trade for you. All right. So the idea is that the bot will place orders for you. Like in this example, we have Ion trading to USDT, and the total allocated investment amount is 600 USDT. All right. So we have in this case 47 grid levels, but just for the sake of the example, I use a few of them, so I don't plot all of them. And you can see all of these open orders in the bot, so they are represented in the separate chart. Yeah, so here we go. So it's gonna sell each time the price reaches corresponding levels where it can profit. So it buys low and sells high, you see? As simple as that. And later, so with each execution, with each sell execution, you get your profits. So these are tiny profits, but taking into account that we have a high frequency trading, that means that you can basically multiply. It can be like 20 sell orders executed within only 1 hour. So multiply this profit by 20 and you will get your hourly rate of return. But what I'm showing you here is just to demonstrate the logic of fractionate profits generated by the bot, which added up together, they sum up into a big profit. As simple as that. All right. And here's the example if you want to place only sell zone. So in this case, if the price triggers the first sell limit order, it will eventually, within this trading range, place a new buy limit order. And if the price then later moves upwards and triggers all of these sell limit orders, each time it triggers the level, it will place simultaneously a buy limit order below the price. So in case the price drops a bit, it will then again trigger the buy limit order. So that can be an endless process as far as the price stays within the trading range. So let's go to Bitsgap main page here, go to bot section, and let me demonstrate how you can initiate the bot. So on the left side here you see the chart, which you can zoom out and zoom in any possible way you want. So you can also change the time frame if you want. And below I have a list of my active bots. So I've launched 2 hours ago BNB to USDT. So let's see its performance. So far 0 trades, but that's fine because you see the market stayed in the neutral zone. And 5 days ago I've launched ION trading to USDT from that point, and now the price is below the point of my inception. So spot the difference. Here you see the investment change minus 3.6%. So that's the investment change, negative investment change to my investment. And if you wouldn't use the automated trading, and if you would buy the ION cryptocurrency at that point where I launched the bot, your hodling would bring you minus 7.8%, all right? So from the point of inception to the point of current price, minus almost 8%. But with automation, that's only minus 3.6%. So that's hedging effect. That's how we protect your trades, because the bot is constantly trading and it generates profits for you. In this case, it has managed to make almost 11 USDT. So this profit is used to offset the negative value change of the base currency, which has depreciated from that point down to that current price. So that's for you the first cool thing about Bitsgap, is that it protects your trades. It's basically hedging built in automatically. So yeah. And to initiate some bots, I will use the demo mode, which is a risk-free trading simulator implemented by the Bitsgap to let you guys sharpen your skills absolutely risk-free. So this is virtual money that I have here, and I have some cryptocurrency exchanges connected just for this risk-free trading simulation. And you can see that I have a list of some trading bots here as well. Let's use the right panel now to launch our first bot. And on the right side here, in case you don't know which cryptocurrency pair you want to trade yet, we have recommended strategies here, which we propose to you based on monthly backtest results. So what backtest stands for, I will explain to you in 10 minutes. But just for you to understand, we take the price action that was happening a month ago, and we take only those cryptocurrencies that have demonstrated decent returns for a monthly period. So these are most appealing cryptocurrencies, the most liquid, most tradable, and those that have demonstrated highest returns. So this is the list of recommended strategies. And let's say, let me check first of all my balance. So here I have almost 4,000 USDT available and some BTC as well. That's OKEX exchange in this case. So let's trade LRC USDT. Once I click on recommended strategy, in this case it was layer C, you spot that we have trading range automatically proposed by the system. All right. If it looks quite wide for you, you can narrow it down. Just simply grab the line, grab the lower limit price and grab the upper limit price to define your trading range. So let's say I want to trade from that point of price 0.0734 like this. Let's make it wider. Let's make the chart wider. And now let's drag the upper limit price over here. So it tells us that we cannot place 100 grids into this price range to start the bot. In this case, I will reduce it to, let's say, 40. So now I have, in this trading range, 40 grid levels. So that means that I have 40 limit orders, both sell limit orders and buy limit orders. If I want to have my sell side wider, then in this case I can narrow down the buy side, or I can even wider it like this. So now I have almost 70% of only sell zone in comparison with the buy zone. So notice that the wider is your sell zone, the more of the base currency you must possess on your balance to initiate the bot. And the wider is your buy zone, in this case, the more of the quote currency, that's USDT for LRC. The more USDT you must have on your balance so that the bot will be able to buy as soon as the price reaches these levels and triggers the buy limit orders. And to see the required allocation amount, go to the advanced section. So here we go. Our total investment right now, which is also, by the way, automated, and I can change it. Let's say I want to only invest 2,000 here. Yeah, that's not a problem. Or I can use the percentage box. Let's say only 30%. Yeah, so that's good. And we can see clearly that in order to initiate this bot, having this wide sell zone and this buy zone, for the sell zone we must have 8,138 LRCs, and for the buy zone we must have 530 USDTs. All right, and later I will explain to you what take profit, stop loss, and trading up stands for. These are very simple things to understand and yet very effective, which allow you to maximize your returns and to protect you in case of the falling market. But as of now, let's just launch a simple bot and let's see what's happened. I'm gonna click on start the bot, and it's gonna tell me here that in order to initiate the bot I must have that amount of LRC, because remember, as I said, here's the amount, but that's approximate amount, all right? And if you don't have that amount of LRC right now on your balance, in this case the system will automatically propose it as a market buy order. So it proposes me to buy it at the market price in order to initiate the bot. And it tells me to buy more LRCs because the fee is taken into account, all right? And I click on yes, buy, and let's see what happens. You see, it has filled the market buy, so it bought required amount of LRCs, and now here we go. Here is our active bot trading for us. 40 grid levels. The trading range is defined. All of these sell limit orders are allocated, and we can see them in the view section. Just go to open orders side. So these are our buy limit orders, the price at which it will buy that amount of LRCs, all right? And here goes our sell side, all of our sell limit orders. So that's the amount that it will sell at that price. As simple as that. And if you multiply price by the amount, if you multiply 384 by that price and compare it with the result, which you would get if you multiply 392 by that price, you would get the same investment value. So that means that your investments are proportionately distributed by each level, all right? Absolutely automatically. And yeah, let's go to the presentation. Finally, we come to the two main terms, the investment change and the bot profit. So these are terms that are quite confusing for some traders that are quite professional at trading, but they are still confused with this. So here is a drop down where I explain what this is all about. So logically, investment change. So that's something, I mean, that's the percentage of how your investment value has changed, all right? So here's the investment, 445 USDT, allocated to this trading bot which is trading BNB to USDT. And I have now minus 0.7%. So that means that I'm down by that amount of in percentage from that investment. So I'm around now 440 USDTs if I recalculate it. So for you to understand what is the current investment value, simply take a look at your open orders. So here we have, in this case, 15.68 BNBs in open orders. So these are BNBs that we possess as the bot has purchased it here, allocated to the sell limit orders. And below is the amount of the quote currency, which is currently allocated to buy limit orders. And if we multiply that amount of BNB by the current price, and the current price at that time was 17.08 for BNB, and if you multiply that amount of BNB by the price, and then you add the quote currency, which is allocated in your buy limit orders, and you also add the bot profit, because the bot was trading for you, it was using your BNB to generate profits in USDT, and here is your generated added value in USDT, and you add it up here as well. So that's the simple formula how you get the investment value. So even though the bot has generated 0.27% here, still we are in the negative zone because the value of BNB has dropped from the point of inception. So that's the idea, all right? Bot profit is what you make in the quote currency, and you will always be in the positive zone here because the bot is making profits for you regardless of the market direction. Either it's falling sideways or the uptrend. But the investment change can vary. And in the falling market, of course, your investment change is going to be affected by the price depreciation, all right? But the bot profit will offset this investment change to make it a bit positive. So, like in my example, I'm showing you on my real account now, I have ION trading to USDT. So let's just switch back to my real account. Yeah, I think I just misclicked. So once again, switch off demo mode. Yeah, so here we go, ION, all right. Remember, I'm showing you from that point down to current price, that was minus 8%, but with automation, that's only minus 2.87%. That's what I was talking here. The bot profit is used to offset the negative value change as the price of your base currency is negatively affected by the price depreciation, as in the example of my ION trade. So yeah, once again, to validate the idea of the bot profit is the profit generated in the quote currency. So here, basic attention token trading to USDT. The bot profit in this case is in USDT, and yeah, as simple as that. Ontology trading to BTC. The profit in this case is going to be in BTC. Here is BitTorrent trading to BNB. The profit is going to be in, oh yeah, that was my mistake. That must be BNB. So now we go to the next interesting topic, which is about optimal strategies and the features that we have to maximize your returns and to protect you from the falling market. As I've mentioned, optimal market scenarios to launch the bot is when the market is moving upwards. Like in this example, we have BNB trading to Ethereum. So in this case, the bot is going to buy low, sell high. As simple as that. So each time the price action provides opportunity to buy low and sell high, the bot will seize this opportunity to generate profits for you, like this. So that's our profit generated by the bot. But we are also affected by the positive value change of BNB as the price of BNB is appreciating to Ethereum. So that's the double effect. That's what we call investment change. I mean, active investment change. which is composed of the value change of your BNB, because the BNB in this case is appreciating, and the bot profit. So that's the profit generated by the bot each time the market provided opportunity to buy low and sell high. And on the sideways market, the idea here is to earn during the stagnation. This case is when the price stays in the neutral zone. So it's kind of neither going upwards nor it goes downwards. So you are somewhere in between. And you don't want to waste that time. And using automated trading, you allow the bot to take this time to generate profits in Ethereum. So during this stagnation, it will use your BNB to generate profits in Ethereum. So that's the added value. And when eventually, hopefully, let's assume that the price then, after this stagnation, has breached the resistance level and moved upwards, in this case, you will have your BNB appreciated and your Ethereum appreciated because the bot has generated profits in Ethereum. So you now have on your balance Ethereum, which is also affected by the positive value change if the price is moving upwards. So that's the profit maximization effect. Here's the example. That's well, it's a sideways market, all right, with a quite wide zone. And here we go. We have, if you would simply hodl, that's Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, so if you would simply hodl your Bitcoin Cash from that point up to current price in this example, you would be only up by 5%. But with automation, with the bot making profits for you on all of these market swings, you have your investment change 14%. So that's almost 3 times higher than the value that you would get if you would simply hodl your cryptocurrency. With automation, you get this triple profit effect. That's another cool thing that we have at Bitsgap, is that we allow you, with automation, to maximize your profits on the sideways market. All right? Well, that's the negative value change effect. If you would buy it from that point and down to current price, you would be minus 4%, but with automation, that's only minus 2%, because the bot profit will offset this negative value change. So there. Another example of the negative value change and how automation allows it to offset. Imagine buying it from that point and now down to current price. So that would be minus 6.88% for you. But with automation, with this profit generated by the bot, you are only down by minus 3%. That's pretty straightforward, I think. Trading up function that you just saw, then I demonstrated how to launch the bot. Now let's just come back to risk-free trading simulator. So here we go, that's the trading up here. Here you have a brief explanation what this is all about, but don't worry, I will explain the logic of it in this visualization that I've created. Here you go. We have a trading range defined by the lower limit price and the upper limit price, like here. So yeah, upper limit price, lower limit price. That's our trading range. Imagine the price has then moved upwards and has now reached new higher high. So that means that with a trading up function on, you basically allow your trading range to follow the appreciation. So in this case, your upper limit price will now automatically be moved by the bot up to that point, and your lower limit price will move upwards as well, like this. So now your trading range is higher. So that means you are following the market appreciation, and by that you allow the bot to trade as the market is moving upwards. Because otherwise, and I will show you in another example, what would happen if the price has breached the upper limit price and you didn't have your trading up function on. you would get simply stuck in this area and you would skip all of the price action that would be happening above. But stay with me. Yeah, so here we go. Again, it has reached a new higher high. So what's going to happen? Our trading range will then consequently move upwards together with the price. But let's assume that from that point, from the point of our newly established trading range, the price has then moved downwards and it has breached the lower limit price. So that means that our trading range will not follow the depreciation. So that is why it is called trading up, all right? Because it is only following an upside momentum and it is not following the downside momentum. And that is why the bot wouldn't have initiated any trades here, because the trading range is here and the price now is below. And as you remember, the bot is only trading within the trading range boundaries. If the price then comes back to the trading range here, the bot will continue trading. Imagine new higher high is established. Yeah, eventually the trading range will move upwards, and now we are here. So with the price appreciated from that point up to that point, our trading range is now here, and initially it was over here. You remember that. So here's the real example. NG trading to BTC, 54 grid levels, investment value, S-bot strategy, and we have trading up function on, like here. So what's presented here is that our trading range is now over here, but initially it was over here. So that's the point of the inception where we launched the bot, and we can clearly see the upper limit price and lower limit price here. So that's 1637 after comma and 1402, which is the bottom limit price. And you can see all of your high price and low price over here. All right, same as here. So for NG and BTC, initially I had this trading range, but with trading up function on, as soon as the price has breached the upper limit price, my trading range started to follow the price appreciation. And now you see that from that point, the price is now moving over here. So that was an insane market move up here. And with trading up function, I am staying in the market. And it is now, my trading range is over here. That's how I allow my bot to maximize profits for me. I let my bot to follow the market so that it would be able to execute all of these trades, as you see on the chart. But imagine we have active bot without trading up function. In this case, we would get stuck in our trading range. And here we go. You see that the price has breached the upper limit price and is now trading above the trading range. And as we don't have our trading up function on, that means that the price action, that the bot is not able to trade here. All right, we got stuck. We got stuck with all of our buy orders over here. But if I would have my trading up function on, my investment change would be higher and my bot profit in this case would be bigger. That's the idea of the trading up function. And other features are stop loss. So the stop loss is pretty straightforward, and I'm pretty much sure that all of you are well familiar with this concept. The idea of the stop loss is that if the price moves downwards, down to the point where you have your stop loss, in this case the bot will automatically sell all of your base currency. In this case we have INT trading to BTC, so it would sell all of the EINT to BTC at that point if the price would fall to that point. All right, so that's the basic risk management feature to protect you from the falling market, because the market, imagine it has dropped down to that point. Now your stop loss is executed, the bot is now closed, but imagine then later the price is gonna move even lower. So as we have our bot, as we just because we had the stop loss, we are no longer at the market. So that means we are no longer affected by this consequent market depreciation. Without the stop loss, you can have big losses. So the stop loss is a basic risk management principle to guard you from big market downside momentums. And here you also can read more about it. A brief explanation what this is all about. And yeah, by the way, the take profit, that's a brand new feature launched I think 3 weeks ago. So with take profit, you can now establish the percentage of the investment change that you want to reach. So let's say you have 5%. So that means as soon as the bot reaches the 5% of the investment change, it will automatically close the bot. So it will exit from the market, and by that it will fix your 5% of the total investment return. If you set it 9%, so as soon as it reaches 9%, it will close the bot automatically. Only by the investment change, not by the bot profit, only by the investment change, because the main metric here is the investment change. We are interested in the return on our investment, all right? So that is why that's the key metric at Bitsgap in this case. So finally, what are the sources of trade ideas? So where we can find how we can generate trade ideas using Bitsgap platform. So that's something unique that we have for you to offer. First of all, recommended strategies. I already demonstrated what this is all about. And finally, backtesting. We have a fully optimized backtesting, and backtesting stands for trade simulation based on based on historic results, all right, based on past price action. So we take the data from the past and we simulate trading as if we would initiate the bot back at that time. And here's the example of NG trading to BTC. That's starting from the 11th of April to 11th of May. So that's a 30 days period. And for that period, the bot, if you would launch it at that time to the 11th of May, you would have a 34% of the bot profit in BTC, of course. And here on the chart, I have plotted the upside momentum estimate. So from the point of our inception, 11th of April, up to the higher high, we had a 66 price appreciation. And from that point of higher high down to the lowest, that was minus 34%. So that's the risk in this case. When the price is moving downwards, that's the risk for us. So remember these key metrics. Another example, it's BNB trading to BUSD. For that period, same period as in the previous example. The bot would only generate plus 13%, That's comparing with the 34% as we would have with NG. But here, from the point of inception up to the higher high, 35% appreciation, and the risk in this case, and the risk is represented by the downside pressure, and that would be minus 23% from the highest high down to the current price here. So when we grab this data together, and you don't actually have to use the Excel or any tables that I use here. I'm just using it for the sake of the example to make it, to optimize the visualization effect for you. In reality, all you need to do is just to use the backtest that we have here, only in the advanced section. So for int trading to BTC, into this price range to start. Okay, let's just change it a little bit. Let's move the stop loss. And now we can see the show backtest results. So the idea here is that using backtesting, you can compare different cryptocurrencies with each other, and you can cryptocurrencies that provide you with optimal for you returns. So if you are looking for big returns, then in this case you must be prepared for a big risk. So in order to achieve higher financial results, you must take bigger risks. Same logic applies here. NG to BTC, to make this profit, to make 34%, you would have to take a risk of 34%, because remember, the downside risk here from the highest high down to the lowest was minus 34%. So your investment change would be affected by this downside risk. And in case of BNB, we have a lower return by almost 3 times, but we have a lower risk for that return. All right. So using backtesting, you can find those cryptocurrencies that, in your opinion, from your trading style perspective, offer you optimized returns. So basically you take into account a return to risk ratio. So if you are ready to take this risk of 34%, so if you are ready to see your investment change, to see the base currency drop by 34%, then NG could be an option for you, because it has generated this quite impressive bot profit return for 1 month. But if you are risk averse and you are quite, how to say, if you are quite, if you are ready to take that profit, if 13% per month is enough for you, if that's an adequate return for you, then you can take this, in this case, lower risk. So once again, for higher returns, it's most likely that you will have to take a higher risk. And using backtesting, you can find those stocks that offer higher returns, or you can find those stocks like BNB that offer lower returns, but in this case they have lower risk. All right, as simple as that. And the idea here is pretty straightforward of how to use Bitsgap to achieve highest returns. Choose the ticker and then choose the relevant bot. And right now we have 2 bots. It's the S bot and the classic bot. And I will explain what makes them different in 5 minutes. The first step would be to set the grid levels amount. And we now know that have more grid levels, we must have enough of the investment. We must have enough balance. So the more grid levels, the bigger must be your investment, because each grid level requires a certain amount of investment allocation. And for instance, on Binance, and let's say it's BNB trading to USDT. So for that cryptocurrency pair, the minimum trade size for one limit order is 10 USDTs. So that's already, you must take into account that for each grid level it's 10 USDT of the investment allocation. So the more grid levels you have, the more money you must possess on your account to initiate the bot. That's the idea. So if you don't have enough, in this case, you can either, like in my example, let's say I want to allocate only 300 of the, no, actually 4,000, maybe 6,000. Yeah, for some reason it's not optimizing it. Yeah, it tells me no bigger than. Well, I guess that's the current bug, because it would otherwise propose me to change it, ask me to change the grid amount, because if, let's say, I allocate more than I have, the system will tell me to reduce the amount of grid levels to make this trading. Let's try now. No, actually, for some reason it's not working, so I'm not able to show you this right now. But you can watch actually previous webcasts to find how this works, but in any case it will be fixed for sure by today, and you will be able to see that, let's say, if you plot 300 USDTs for 100 grid levels, it would otherwise right now show you that you're not able to execute this trade because you don't have enough of the investment to execute these 100 grid levels. So it would ask you to adjust grid quantity so that you would be able to allocate a 300 investment, and it would automatically adjust it, let's say, to 40. In this case, you would be able to launch the bot having only 300 USDTs allocated. All right. But don't worry, we have this feature, it's just that it's lagging for some reason right now. Otherwise, there is a message which pops out here, and it's telling you that you can adjust grid quantity so that you would be able to allocate the investment value of your choice. And yeah, the fourth step is to set all of the risk management and profit maximization features that we have. So in this case, trading up, if you want to follow the price appreciation, the stop loss to limit your downside risk, and the take profit to exit the market as soon as the bot reaches your required investment change. All right. So the biggest advantage of automated trading is that you are no longer required to stay in front of your computer 24/7 to monitor the market and to find these trade opportunities manually. You now have automation, you now have the bot to find this on the market to buy low and sell high. So basically that's almost a passive strategy for you. As soon as you have all of the settings set, as soon as you have configured the bot, you have your trading range defined, you have grid quantity, you have investment allocated, all features that you want to have on, that's it for you. So that's all of your job. Now, after that, after you launch the bot, you let the bot to make profits for you, and all you need to do is to just from time to time, maybe a couple of times per week, maybe 3 times per week, that's enough. Well, in my opinion, that's the amount of times when I check what is going on with the automated trading bots, just to monitor the price action, because there can be some cases on the market when you'd rather close the bot and relaunch it with new settings. Well, that depends on the market volatility, and with experience comes more practical orientation, whether or not certain cryptocurrencies require more grid levels to be set for you just to achieve higher returns. Because, you know, depending on the market volatility and depending on the cryptocurrency, for Icon, 97 grid levels, it can be enough to generate decent profits. But maybe for BNB, having 97 grid levels, that wouldn't be enough just because of the volatility and the price action happening there. So that's something that you should develop for yourself, and having this demo mode feature, a risk-free trading simulator, you are now able to execute as many active bots basically as you want to find optimal strategies for you, to find optimal settings, whether or not you want to have trading up on, stop loss, take profit. So find your own strategy which brings you highest returns. And for that, you have everything here at Bitsgap to sharpen your skills and to discover your winning strategies. And we are here for you to secure your trading. While you are discovering your trading strategies, we have built secure optimizations like this one. On the left side, you see the chart, and that's the chart of the price action of how the bot would trade without the optimization that we have at Bitsgap, which I call as the security from extreme pumps and dumps scenarios. So here you can see that the price you see that the price has moved upwards, and as we here don't have optimization to secure us from extreme pumps like this, the majority of our buy limit orders, they got stuck at that highest price. And as the price later moved downwards, all of these buy orders that were executed here, they are now in the negative zone. So what you bought at the highest price and recalculated to current price, that's gonna be a depreciation for you. So buying high and selling low, that's something you want to avoid, because that's the money loss in this case. But with Bitsgap optimization, with this protection from extreme pumps and dumps, no trades would happen in this zone where we had this extreme pump, which eventually resulted in the consequent price depreciation back to the zone of initial trading. With optimization, you would have a smooth active bot trading. You would have a smooth profit generation. Whereas without optimization, all of these buy orders that would be executed at the highest price as the pump occurred, your investment change would be negatively affected significantly. With optimization, we have once again smooth returns. So we secure you, and we are constantly developing these features, these technical features to protect you from falling market, to protect you from extreme pumps and dumps, so that you would have smooth returns, which allows you to achieve maximized returns. Yeah, sorry. And now, regarding the S-bot, as I mentioned at the beginning, we now have only two bots, the S-bot and the classic bot. But before that, we had three bots, and the third one was the scalper. And the idea is that we now have scalper merged with the S-bot. So what defines the scalper is that in comparison with the classic bot, and in the classic bot, the minimum grid spacing, so the space between your limit orders, can only be 0.1%. All right. But in case of the S-bot, here comes the maximized high frequency, as I call it, because now the grid spacing is reduced down to 0.01%. So that means that you can now have these market fractionate price actions, and logically, the more of the grid levels you have and the narrow is your spacing between these grid levels, the more trade opportunities you provide for the bot to make profits for you. Because clearly then this setup is narrow, as we now have more grid levels. See how it reaches here, how they become narrow. So that means that we will not skip the price action. We reduce the space, so there won't be gaps where we didn't have any trades. The more grid levels, the more price action the bot will be able to seize. So that means that you can reach an astronomical amount of trades per day. That can be by far more than 46 trades, as in the example I've shown you. It can be even 100 trades per day, just because you have this narrow setup. And that's only possible with the S-bot, as it now has these scalper features where the grid spacing is reduced down to 0.01%. And another feature that we now have is the way of how you can close the bot. And let's say I want to close my icon trading to BTC. When I click on close, I have some options here. Before that, I could only cancel it, either having it to sell all of my current icons in this active bot at the market price, or simply close it as it is, just to avoid any trading, but any of the base currency and the quote currency left, they would go to my balance. But now we have a third option, which is place sell limit order at a break-even price. So what break-even price stands for, and it's represented here, that's already pre-calculated. So the break-even price is the price at which selling the base currency would result in the zero investment change. All right. So now we have minus 0.8%, and now let's see what's the price. The price now is what? 3353. And now let's click on close. So in order for me to have my investment change zero, in order to go out from the negative zone, the price from that point, 3353, must reach 3411. So that's, in this case, just let me show you on the chart where this is. It's over here. 33. Sorry, it's 33. Am I right or not? Let's make it yellow. Icon close 3411. 3411. So when I click on close by the break-even price, it will eventually sell what is left in the bot, and that's 1360 icons. It will sell it to BTC at the break-even price, and break-even price is higher now when we're in comparison with the current price. So to have our investment change from 0.66% to 0%, the price must appreciate from that point. So if I click on close, place a limit at a break even. We now have a limit sell order at the break-even price to sell what is left from this bot in order to exit the market with a zero of the investment change. Other options, they include cancel all open orders, so that means that it will be closed and bot moved to history, but those quantum, which is now here in the open orders, it would go to your balance. Same with the USDT, which is left in this bot. By simply canceling out all of the open orders, you restrict the bot from further trading, but the base currency and the quote currency that was used here, it now goes to your balance. And if I click on sell at the market price, it will sell that amount of quantum, which is now in the open orders here, at the current market price. So let's use this one and see what happens. Cancel Binance demo quantum USDT, and the market sell order is placed, and here we go. It has filled the sell order to buy what is left at the current price. So that's what I call a full exit, 100% exit. Whereas when it comes to selling at the break-even price, we must wait for some time for the price to go to the point of where the break-even price is for that trade. And that's only for the active bots that are now in the negative zone. All right, so in most cases, we're looking for positive investment change rule, right? Because the idea of trading and investing is to maximize our returns. But when we are in the negative zone, what is left for us is that we can wait for the price to appreciate up to that point where our investment change is 0%. So in this case, we exit the market having no loss. That's the idea, and these are the features proposed to you, so it's up to you to choose which one is optimal for you. Because let's say I have BTC trading to USDC and I want to cancel this bot, but I don't want to sell any BTC that is left here in open orders. In this case, I would use only cancel all my open orders, and now I can see that on my balance I have BTC. All right, as simple as that. And regarding the optimal market scenarios to launch the bot, me myself, I'm mostly looking for those market formations where I can enter in the sideways, and eventually I expect the price to break the upper limit price to enter the upside momentum and then establish new higher highs. So I'm looking for only those formations where the price either supports it respects the support level. Like here, you can see clearly that it has a strong support area over here, which is defined by that lower low price and that lower low price. And so that's basically the support zone, and we can see that the price has eventually bounced off it, bounce off, appreciation, bounce off, appreciation, and now we are at the point where the price is testing this support level. And in my opinion, like from my practical perspective, from my practical experience, I am entering the market when I see not only price is testing the support level, I'm looking for the price to bounce off this support level. So if we would be at that point of time, I wouldn't enter the launch, I wouldn't enter the the automated trading bot at that price, I would wait for it to appreciate. I would wait for the price to bounce off the support level. So I would enter somewhere at that point. So that's the idea. And I don't have that much of real trades now because I don't like the situation around Bitcoin right now. As for me, it looks like it's neither goes upwards or downwards. It just got stuck. So I know that many cryptocurrencies, they are highly correlated to BTC, and in this case, when the BTC goes upwards, then the majority of other cryptocurrencies, they also move upwards. So that is why I am currently staying aside. I'm not trading right now. I'm waiting for the price action to determine whether or not the Bitcoin is ready to go higher and to establish new higher highs, because right now the key level is 10,000 and we had around 5 attempts to breach this level and all of them were unsuccessful. And at the same time, let's just go to BTC, USDT, and at the same time it stays in the sideways area. So it's kind of in stagnation right now, alright? And you can actually trade this stagnation, as I explained that on the sideways market, automated trading bots are optimized. But as of now, I'm really not sure if it's gonna stay in that side, in the sideways market, because it looks like it's not ready to go upwards. So that means that there can be a downside pressure. So I'd rather not enter the sideways right now. But that's only from my fundamental and technical analysis perspective. It's up to you to decide whether or not to enter. And in previous cases where I entered the market, where then the price bounced off the support level. So what I've noticed is that for many cryptocurrencies, they do respect the support level. And see that here I have cryptocurrencies, I have Bitcoin respecting the support level, and each time it approached the support level it bounced off, like here, bounce off, bounce off, bounce off. So yeah, I'm using mostly resistance and support levels and looking for the candlestick patterns to determine whether or not to enter or not to enter the market. That's the idea, all right? There is no golden rule for you to know where or not to enter the market, because it depends on your technical analysis skills and your fundamental awareness, all right? In some cases where I enter, maybe you wouldn't enter because in your perspective, in your reality, that wouldn't be an optimal market entrance, all right? So that's something up to you, and that is why we have demo mode, to test your trading, to develop your trading skills, to develop your own strategies before investing real money. So use this feature to sharpen your skills. And to find more of the use cases, go to Bitsgap main page and go to about the blog, and there is a section called trading bot, and here you can find all of the related information and all of the use cases are provided here. And we are constantly working on new content, so that means that with every new webcast and every new coming week, you have new blog posts and you have new use cases and practical tips that I am explaining here during the webcast. So that's it for today, and we've covered all of the major topics. If you are a newcomer, you are now ready to launch your first automated trading bot. And I recommend to launch your first bot using demo mode just to make sure that you understand all of the features and how to use them effectively. And let's see what questions you have unanswered. So yeah, there is a question about the SBot and the minimum grid spacing. So the grid spacing here for the SBot, as you can clearly see, is minimum, is down to 0.01%. In all cryptocurrencies where this spacing is allowed, all right? So you must understand that depending on the cryptocurrency exchange that you are using, the allocation investment can vary significantly, because at Binance they have this minimum requirement of 10 USDT for one trade, and on other cryptocurrency exchanges like OKX or HitBTC and others, they have different minimum requirements. So if they have lower minimum requirements, that means that you can now plot more of the grid levels, having the same investment value as if you would launch it on the Binance. So there can be cases where having only let's say 300 USDT, let's say it's Binance and that's HitBTC, and on Binance we have a minimum requirement of $10 for one trade. And let's say for HitBTC, because I don't really remember the minimum requirement, but let's say that's only $1. So that means that having 300 USDTs, you can launch on HitBTC more grid levels. I mean, you can launch active bots with more grid levels comparing with Binance. So that's the idea. You must make sure that you have a proper diversification. So if you want to launch the bot having 100 grid levels, so you want to have this narrow setup to let the bot say as many market swings as possible, you must make sure that you are using, I mean, first of all, you must have enough investment to your account, but it can be the case for you to use another cryptocurrency exchange, not only the Binance, to launch the bot with 100 grid levels that you are looking for. Because it can be that for Binance to launch this amount of grid levels, that's $1,000, but on OKX it can be that it's only, let's say, $500 to launch the bot with 100 grid levels. And you can check this using demo mode. So before going to the market with real money, you can test this strategy. So let's say on your real account you want to trade LRC to USDT. What you can do is that using demo mode you can launch it initially using the demo mode, risk-free, with those settings that optimal for you, that are optimal for your investment prospectus. And then later, if everything is all right for you, go to your real account and then finally launch it with your real money. So for the short-term trade, what is the grid spacing that you recommend? So you're asking, yeah, well, as I said, the narrow is your grid spacing, the more opportunities you provide for the bot to trade. Because clearly, let's say that our grid spacing is, no, actually let's use another one. Grid spacing, let's assume that these are our grid levels and the space between them is what, 1%. And let's assume that the price is moving here. So yeah, now it has reached this upper limit, it has triggered this grid level. But having more grid levels, and to have more grid levels, basically your grid spacing is going to be reduced. So that means that it would have triggered this level, this order, it would have triggered then the second one and even the third one. So the narrower is your setup, the more trades will happen. And for the short term, I would recommend to have as a narrow setup as you can, as your balance allows you to have, all right? Because by that you allow your bot to seize almost every market swing. But sometimes it can be the case of your available capital. It can be that you have, let's say, $5,000 and 4,000 are already allocated to some of your active bots. And now you want to launch a new bot which requires you to have 2,000 USDT to launch, let's say, with 120 grid levels. So since you don't have that amount, you have only 1,000 available on your balance, you can launch it with only 60 grid levels, all right? So sometimes it can be the case of your available balance. So these are the things that you must take into account when you launch the bot. So alright guys, that's pretty much it. And if you have any questions unanswered, you can always use the support section here at the right bottom panel. You can ask your question here, send us a message. You can use the Telegram chat to ask your question and to discuss some interesting topics with other members of our community. And we have a very strong community of professional traders and even fund managers. So you can exchange your ideas, share your knowledge, and together, having such a strong community, we can outperform the market. And at Bitsgap, we are constantly working on development of features to protect you from the falling market and to let you achieve maximized returns regardless of the market trend. So thanks for your time, thanks for your attendance. I really appreciate that, and I hope you value the work that I'm doing here and you value the information that I provide you. So if you please could rate this webinar from the scale of 1 to 10. So that's going to be the best feedback from you for me to understand, and yeah, provide some tips and clues provide your ideas which you would like to discuss during the next webinar. So as of now, yeah, thanks a lot. Stay safe, peace, love, and see you next time.